Guys, it's that time of the month again. We have a brand new update. We have new units, we have new transmogs, we have new 2As, we have a surprise balance patch, are all things that I wish I could say we had in this update. I know, you hate me. I hate me too. Everyone hates me, but that's okay because we're going over the update, 838 update. There is a nice thing in this update. It's none of those things I mentioned, but there is something. I don't know why I think this is hilarious. I am the only one, and everyone else is pissed off that I just trolled them. Brand new update 838. Let's go. Let's take a look at this. We have a change to the rune and artifact related function improvement. So before, you could just set your runes, and a lot of people were doing this, and I actually would go on people's accounts for summons. Calm down. Stop emailing me. You're gonna email me. You're gonna be like, stop trolling us. We're telling us exciting things are coming, and then they're not that exciting. But when I would go on for summons, and people would be like, oh yeah, look at my this and that, and look at my RT, and I would look at it and be like, oh, Diana doesn't have 100% crit rate. It's them just allowing Com2uS to apply the default runes to it and not doing anything themselves. And that's why these things, and that was Beans too. She put the default runes on her unit. She just lets the game rune things for her because she's like, oh, they know what they're doing. And I'm like, do they? I don't know that they necessarily do. They kind of halfway. It's better than nothing. It's better than trying to guess and being brand new and not knowing what units, what runes go in what units. So it's at least better than nothing. But yeah, at least this time, with this new improvement, you can decide on what sets you want on your units. So it's a little bit more, you can give the game a little direction, like, hey, don't put that stupid stuff on. Put this less stupid stuff on. I'm still too lazy to run it myself and go through and take her. But at least it's better than just going in completely blind and letting the game decide for you. So we at least have that. World Guild Battle Monster Rune Artifact Info Save Function in Defense Placement. Oh my god, there's so many extra Guild War content. There is a new, well, I guess we'll get to that, but there's a new Guild War feature where you can restrict the attack monsters as well in here, and I think that's the most exciting thing for the Guild War, the upcoming Guild War modification. There's just so many Guild War modifications. I'm like, I am especially butthurt because I am someone that does not have access. I know I complain about this all the time, but I don't have access to this content at all because of my schedule. And a lot of people are the same way. They don't have access based on their schedule. They gotta, like, if it's open when they get off work, they can do it. But aside from that, and a lot of times it's not. If you're trying to be in a higher level guild, a lot of stuff is not going to be open. So I do like this. It's cool. It makes it a little bit more challenging, so you can put something on your defense that is lutionable and say, hey, you can't lution me. And you also can't use a bomber as well. You use the Joker bombers. You can still use other bombers, but at least you can't get lutioned or Siand or Leebleed or Figaro or whatever. And then you can see that over there at the top left-hand corner. Kairos Dungeon related improvement, the Essence reward have been upgraded. Didn't they already mention that in a, or maybe that was today. They mentioned that as well. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm like, oh, that already came out. Like, yeah, that came out today. That's when they came out. Total amount of magic attribute essences that can be obtained at once has been increased. Low essences has been reduced. Drop rates of mid and high essences have been increased to offer more high grade essences. Yada yada yada. The chance of opening a secret dungeon from a battle has increased, which is nice. I was just opening them, crafting them, so I haven't even been doing it the traditional way anymore. Tribute dungeons. Each monster's secret dungeon will now open at an equal chance when a secret dungeon opens from a battle crafting in the shop. Tribute dungeons battle reward will be provided even if you open a secret dungeon through battle. 6 different types of. This is the big thing. This is, I think, the best part about all of this is 6 different types of secret dungeons can now be unlocked through tribute dungeon battles, crafting, and shop purchases. So if you see right there, there is a light griffin. 10 effing years later, there is finally a light griffin in the secret dungeons. So now they're not even bringing all of the. I don't know why they stopped it at 6 new additions, because they have units that are 2A units, right? And I know actually why they chose these 6, but they have so many units that are Second Awakened units, but you can't get them through secret dungeons. You have to actually summon, and it's a frustration for like the LD ones, because for example, my Asia, so I'm just using this as an example, my Asia server account did not summon a Dark Mystic Witch for at least 5 years. It was just got unlucky. We got 2 LD5s before we got a Dark Mystic Witch, which is a ridiculous thing, but that's what happened. I was like, we can't even get a 2A for this unit. It's been years that we played. Cannot get a 2A for this unit because there's no secret dungeon for it, and that's that. We have to just get lucky enough to summon it. And a lot of people have gotten a lot of the LD3s that they've been missing from these 10-year scrolls, which actually have been fantastic for 2As, as well as there's some events that like will let you choose your LD3s that you want. But they don't happen very often. So we at least get some new 2As here. We get the Light Amazon, which is supposed to be a secret dungeon. Not a secret dungeon. It's a secret dungeon now. It's supposed to be a secret dungeon right now, guys. It is supposed to be a 2A at some point. I actually saw when I first saw this update today, I was like, dude, I was at work. I was like, I mean, I totally work when I'm at work, and I don't look at video game stuff at all. Just in case anyone from work is watching this, I don't look at video game stuff at work. But if I did, I would have saw the banner and been like, oh my god, they actually did the new 2As. I'm so mad at myself for being at work right now. I'm just mad at myself for being at work in general. But I was mad at myself, and I was like, man, the new 2As came out. I missed all of it. I feel like I'm so far behind. I'm like, oh, they're not new 2As. They're secret dungeons. Like, I just glanced at it for a second and thought that, and then a couple seconds later, I'm like, oh, they're just secret dungeons. So, yeah. But that's still good. That's still good, because this is something great for new players to actually get the units that they're missing. These are the secret dungeons that are in here. Fire Grim Reaper. And see if you can guess, because I think you guys can figure out why they did these specific ones. Fire Grim Reaper, Wind Marshal Cat, Light Amazon, Light Griffin, Dark Mystic Witch, Dark Grim Reaper. So these are the units that are considered the more effective of the ones that are not easily obtainable from secret dungeons already. The 2As that are, oh, just use this unit, right? Because a lot of times we'll have these teams of like, oh yeah, when you're doing Necropolis, Abyss Hard, just use the Light Griffin. It's like, well, some people don't have the Light Griffin. If you've been playing for 10 years and you spend a lot of money in the game, you got a million Light Griffins. But if you have been playing for like a year, and you might not have a Light Griffin. 2 years. I've seen accounts that are a couple years old that don't have these the Light Griffin or Light Werewolf. Actually, Light Werewolf should be here too, but he's not. I think they definitely should have added that. But this is these are the units of like, you should just use this unit for this dungeon. It's not there. Comptos was like, how can we make this more accessible for early game players, for new players? Let's add the must-have PvE units for secret dungeons. I wish they did the rest of the 2As though, because I think that all the units that are available to be Second Awakened in content should be accessible without needing luck to get them. So I know I'm long-winded. I know. Moving on. I just noticed that's a ride now. We have a brand new for the RTA season, brand new Sky Surfer Transmog. Of course, I'm sure it's going to be super cool. It kind of looks similar to the one we already have. I mean, of course, it's cool, but I think they already look good, so I'm not too bummed out about it. You know the deal. It's the same stuff as last season. We have the Sandcat Pharaoh Desert Queen, which is available for 3,000 medals in the shop, coming limited seasons 30 and 31. We have these brand new World Arena Season 30 support monsters. I love the fact that they... I'm in 2 ways about this. I love the fact that they do this. However, you really can only use these units up to like C1 if you're lucky and kind of know what you're doing. Because they're not grinded. The runes on them are kind of mid. And just the fact that and you can't change the runes. You can't put your runes on them. Like, it makes them mostly unusable unless you are brand new to the game and want to play RTA but have like nothing. So at least you can play Fighter 1, Fighter 2, Fighter 3 with some of these units. Aside from that, you're not gonna be able to use them any higher than that. But you can at least play around with them. I would love to say you can have some combos with them, like the Dark Robo. You can have some fun combos, but like not the runes that are gonna be on it, because anything that needs to be very fast on Swift is gonna be like plus 150 on Swift, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna outspeed nobody. So yeah, and then the efficiency overall, because they're not grinded. You're just only able to use these at very low level. Monster skill description text improved, which is basically nothing. Activation, I thought this was cool. Maybe not cool. Helpful. Fire Magic Knight's Vengeful Fire passive activation notification. When Fire Magic Knight takes damage and Vengeful Fire passive is activated, text will now be displayed for you to recognize it clearly. Also, this Fire Magic Knight buff was more impactful than I realized, because I wasn't really thinking when I first saw it, I wasn't really thinking like, oh, you stack with the attack power buff, but just the fact that it does that is much better than initially realized. So, and then game bug fixes. And I think we have one, all skills at once, which is nice because Devilmons are in short supply. However, and this is a big asterisk, Com2uS has been making Devilmons so much more accessible lately than they ever have before. And I'm, as much as I crap on them, I got to give them credit because we have these Sculpt events. We've had other Sculpt events recently as well. And then just the fact that they make Devilmons easier to get now than we used to be able to, because you can feed a Nat 5 and then get 3 Devilmons, effectively 3 Devilmons in exchange. I think maybe it's less, because I think it's 120 for 1 Devilmon, and you get 300 for feeding a Nat 5. So it's not great, but it's still better than what we used to do back in the day. Is like, you get a dragon and then you get another dragon. You don't want to build both of them. You feed one dragon as if it was one Devilmon to the first one. So at least this one is more valuable. So yeah, and then we have. Oh, you know what? I wanted to show what is it? Nat 5 monsters? Did we not do all of them? I thought we did all of them. Hold on, is this one of the things that they? Don't tell me this is one of the. Oh my god, that actually counts? The monster skill up event actually counts as one of these big events? That's not the same level. That is not the same level as a Witcher collab. Witcher collab is like, okay, they have a collab with a huge IP, a well-known game franchise. They have these Nat 5 summon events. Like, those are pretty solid events. This one's a monster skill up. That shouldn't be here. That shouldn't be here. So we have 4 more before the end of the year. I hope that these are more exciting than these two. Because the Monster Sculpt event, the 6-star Legendary Runecraft event, they're not bad events. They're good events. But these are supposed to, in my opinion, these are supposed to be for like ridiculous events where it's like, wow, this is new stuff that I have access to that I've never had access to before. So, yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that. Is it this Magic Workshop event that has all the Devilmons? Because I was trying to explain how Devilmons are much more accessible now than they used to be. Like I said, they're much more accessible now than they used to be. And then we also have this Devilmon area right over here, where we can actually move to shop, where we can feed. Yeah, it is 120. 123 per month. But at least this is more accessible than they used to be. I still hope that one day we can see the other secret dungeons that are missing, like the Light Grim Reaper, for example, Light Mystic Witch, Light Werewolf. There's a handful of other ones, but at least they have the ones that they chose. The 6 new secret dungeons are units that are premium units for PvE for dungeons. So that's why they chose these. Like the Grim Reaper, Fire and Dark Grim Reapers, like those are great for TOA. That's the reason for that. But anyway, that is update 838. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know you guys like, yeah, thanks for being a dick in the beginning, buddy. You're welcome. I will see you as always in the next one.